Good morning, everyone. I am Marijke Slomka, the spokesperson of the President of the European Economic and Social Committee. Very warm welcome to our press conference today with Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama and with the President of the European Economic and Social Committee, RÖPKE. Prime Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, dear President. I'm really happy to be here today together with you. Just a few days after your visit to Tirana, to demonstrate my government's appreciation for the important role and contribution of civil society on Albania's EU accession path. And thank you for the welcome and, as always, thoughtful discussion, and more than anything, for the like-mindedness on a wide range of issues. So it's really very, very encouraging and quite energizing for us to finalize the procedure of setting up the Joint Consultative Committee, which is proof of not only our commitment but also belief that the EU integration process is not only a government issue, but it belongs to and needs the involvement and contribution of the society as a whole. And in that regard, I'm particularly excited about the support we are getting from President RÖPKE and his team, because it gives us the possibility to show to our people, to show to all the stakeholders in our country, not through us, but through a relevant body in this amazing complex in Brussels, how important it is to understand that the way towards the membership is a way of the whole society, not just several actors. And consultations with civil society organizations as a normal and regular exercise on every key initiative related to the process are a must. And we look forward that through this engagement, through this involvement, these consultations become much more substantial, and that this interaction within our society becomes much more relevant. So with the soon-to-be Joint Consultative Committee, we will establish another mechanism of dialogue with EESC, aiming to consolidate further our cooperation. This is also a testimony of our eagerness to do everything in our power for the acceleration of the accession process. And it gives me great pleasure to meet today here and to start the day, by the way, from here, under the spell of this committee that has been since the very beginning not only an active player in the accelerated integration approach, but also very, very open and kind to us. So, to put it very bluntly, getting to know by facts that Brussels has a heart is always good news. So, thank you very much. I'm not going to go longer. I'm simply ending here by expressing my gratitude to Oliver, to his excellent team, not just for what they do based on their job description, but for what they do beyond the job description, which is somehow a personal involvement to help others to improve and be better. Thank you very much.
Yes, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear Prime Minister Rama, first of all, I'm truly grateful about this visit today, because this is a big day also for our committee, and I think it's also a big day on the way to accession to the European Union for the Western Balkans and especially for Albania. Last week I had the honor and the pleasure to lead a delegation to Tirana. We had a lot of meetings there with Prime Minister Rama, with his team, with a couple of ministers, with Chief Negotiator Duka, and also with the civil society, because we are the advocates of civil society and of social partners. And the message of all of them was clear. There is an overwhelming support for the enlargement to access the European Union. And I think we cannot allow to disappoint these aspirations anymore. This is the reason why we took the decision to implement one of my main priorities in my manifesto, to implement the so-called enlargement candidate members initiative. And once again, I appreciated very much, the whole House appreciated very much, that Prime Minister Rama, alongside Prime Minister Spajic from Montenegro, participated in our inauguration session in February this year. And since this inauguration session, we have made significant progress with the involvement of civil society representatives in our daily work. When it comes to Albania, we have 18 enlargement candidate members from trade unions, from employers' organizations and civil society. They worked already on two very important opinions together with our members on the future of cohesion policy and about other matters. So I think this is already today, at the very beginning of this initiative, a success story. I have also to say that we are absolutely grateful for the support of the European Commission, and especially for the support of Commission President von der Leyen personally. And we hope that at the end of this pilot project, we not only hope, we are absolutely determined to continue this project, because I think we cannot disappoint these countries anymore. On the contrary, our position was always clear. The accession procedure must be merit-based and must be predictable, but the methodology must be gradual, a gradual involvement of candidate countries. And this is actually what we do, and we are pioneering this methodology in our House. I could see last week in my meetings in Tirana that Albanian civil society is absolutely eager to foster this involvement. And here I come to the second point. I think it's now time, it's really time to make the next step and to establish the JCC, the Joint Consultative Committee, which is the body that should monitor and also advise the enlargement process together with institutions, with governments, and with members from Albanian civil society and from the EESC. We, from our side, we are ready. We have the legal base. We just need to appoint the members in an inclusive and transparent manner, and then we can start. And I think it should be now really the kickstart to make this next step. I wanted to say that yesterday in our plenary session we adopted a resolution for the next legislative term. And I'm glad that also in this, I would say, main resolution for this mandate from our committee, our approach to integrate candidate countries and their civil society as soon as possible in a gradual manner is also enshrined. There is a clear commitment, and we call also upon other institutions to follow this example. We had also another opinion that was adopted yesterday on the access of the Western Balkans. Was an exploratory opinion for the Hungarian presidency, and here again the same approach. We also highlighted the important function of the Joint Consultative Committee. So to conclude, while the pace of EU integration may be slow, we must ensure the process remains transparent, results-oriented, credible, and we have to keep the momentum. We have to keep the momentum, and therefore I'm so grateful that Prime Minister Rama, dear Edi, you are here. I know that you are a strong supporter of our committee, and I just can say we stand also with the civil society of Albania to support your aspirations to join the European Union. Thank you.
Thank you both. And now we open the floor to questions. Tomasz?
Tomasz Bielecki, the Polish journalist of Polityka. I have the question to the President on this pilot project of having enlargement member states representatives in the committee. When this pilot project could be transformed into the permanent one, and what are the conditions to do so? And how do you see the impact, if there is any, of your initiative on other institutions here in Brussels? And to the Prime Minister, I have a question on simply one on the Joint Consultative Committee. When do you expect it to start to work?
Shall I start? Okay. Yes. Well, our pilot project goes until the end of the year. And we are absolutely, as I said, we are absolutely clear. We want to continue this. And the idea is to have a prolongation for the next year. But at the same time, we are already looking in a mechanism to have here a permanent structure. So we are working on this. It depends in the end on the EESC, because we have to decide about this. We decided autonomously to have this enlargement candidate members initiative, and we will also decide about the continuation. Of course, we have to clarify some budget questions, but to be very honest, I think we shouldn't be small on such a big political question. The enlargement of the Western Balkans is for us a strategic priority, and we will find the means to finance this, and we hope that next year we will have then a permanent mechanism for this initiative.
Yes, I must say that this Joint Consultative Committee is not the beginning of the end, but is the end of the beginning. So while we have it, we are going to look forward to have more. And by the way, today we will present, based on this fantastic experience and based on the very tangible results, which is both sides are smiling. Nobody is getting nervous. A written request to President von der Leyen with 152 demands to get further access in 152 directions of this labyrinth of I don't know how many thousands of directions it has. But we have to go like that, because our understanding is that it cannot be like a space or like a time between nothing and everything. So because when you are in the process towards the membership, you are practically in the nothing side. When you become a member, you are in everything side. So in the middle, something should change, and it's changing. And thanks to the openness and to the goodwill of this side here in Brussels to understand that, we are having the new growth plan, we are having other discussions about a gradual integration. And what President RÖPKE and his team has come out as defined new kind of status, which is practically the enlargement candidate member, is quite revealing about the direction we should go. So what we are looking forward is to get more inside this body of European Union, not for money, but for the know-how, for the understanding of how the future will look like when we'll be full members, and for this need to strengthen these ties through real work. And I would conclude by saying that we are advocating that even in the European Parliament we should be present, not with MPs that will vote, but with teams that will prepare for the next phase, when we will have our own MPs while members, and when we should not start from scratch, like Japanese tourists visiting Louvre. We should already be inside with the statues. waiting for the real people to come, no?
Thank you. Euronews? Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Vincenzo Genovese from Euronews. I would have a question for Prime Minister Rama. A couple of years ago here in Brussels, you compared the European Union to Samuel Beckett's Godot and your country, Albania and North Macedonia, to Vladimir and Estragon. Did you change your mind on this? And if so, why? What happened?
I didn't compare the European Union to Godot. I said European Union looks like Beckett that is writing a script about North Macedonia and Albania like being Vladimir and Estragon. So this is a different moment in time. So European Union has moved from being our Beckett. I would say that is in a more French romantic period of literature. Let's see how it will go, but for sure we feel better in these pages of this type of literature than we felt by being framed by Samuel Beckett.
Sheila?
Thank you. Sheila Ahmatovic from Politico. I was wondering whether you, Mr. RÖPKE, could elaborate on how exactly the Commission is supporting your initiative.
Well, we elaborated the program for the enlargement candidate members. We have a fully fledged program which is now in place, and the Commission is supporting it via projects from the Commission, financing the attendance of enlargement candidate members. So the financial support comes from the European Commission, and it was granted personally with the letter from Commission President von der Leyen, and we received the support, of course, directly from Commissioner Vaheli and his Directorate General, and from Commissioner Schmidt. We will at our next plenary session in October, we will have a candidate enlargement forum where we invite around 100 of our enlargement candidate members to discuss with our members the state of play of enlargement, our expectations, and we invited a couple of ministers, including from Albania, from other candidate countries, but also from EU member states, to discuss this, and Commissioner Vaheli and Commissioner Schmidt will also participate in this plenary session. And we are, as I said, we are very grateful for the support from the Commission, and we hope very much that the Commission also assess this initiative as a success and will continue with the financial support for this initiative.
Any more questions? No? Johannes? Okay, good. Then thank you very much, and we will be closing. We have more?
Hello. I was wondering, because you said that there's a long list of requirements to become a member, but what are the requirements that would be the priority for you? What things would you work on first in transforming Albania?
There is not such a thing like them who want to enter choosing what they want to do. It's called negotiation, but as a matter of fact, it's not very much a negotiation. It's much more a homework dictated by here. So this is the reality. So we cannot say what we would like to do. We have simply to do what they ask us to do, but the important point is we have to do it for us, not for them. Because by doing what the whole membership process demands, you do something extraordinary and transformative for your own country, for your own institutions. So, as a matter of fact, this process is a democratic state-building process, and that's why whomever is blessed to be in the middle of Europe without being part yet of the European Union has this tool that is provided by the integration process that other countries elsewhere in other continents cannot have. And this is why when we talk about functioning democracy as the defined near future of the Western Balkans, we talk about something very realistic and not like functioning democracy in Afghanistan or somewhere else, because we have the EU. They don't.
Thank you. Sheila, Politico?
Yes, another question from Politico, this time for the Prime Minister. What do you think the biggest challenge is when it comes to the accession or integration for your country?
Listen, there are two challenges. One is what we have to do in terms of what is expected and what is predictable. And the other challenge is what we have to face in terms of unpredictable. Meaning, when you work with the Commission and when you go through this process by the book, everything is predictable. But when you have to go up to the Council, not much predictability. So the challenge is to know how much these two things will get together in the moment we'll be ready in terms of finishing our homework. Because, you know, as it goes sometimes, you can have done your homework, but the upper floor is not ready to have an audience with you. And then you are doomed. So let's see if the stars will align in the moment we'll be ready, and in the moment the Commission will say these guys are ready to come in. But for that, there is time still. For the time being, we have to do our homework. And I must say that there is a dramatic change in terms of the capacity of listening from the European Union since Vladimir Putin woke them up big time. So it's pity that we needed him to woke them up, but now I can say everyone is up, and I hope they'll not fall asleep again if the war will end like we all wish.
Thank you. And one more question.
Hello, President Rama. It's a pleasure to hear you speak today. I wanted to ask a question in regards to youth. Me, myself, from an Albanian origin, growing up in Greece, I wanted to ask what are the current plans or future plans to embed future youth generation into EU, UK, into Albanian and EU politics? I've always
believed that young people should not wait for older people plans to do what they need to do. This is my take on it. So when I was as young as you are, I hated old people to tell me what I should do. So I wish you hate me instead of waiting for me to tell you what to do.
This goes for President RÖPKE as well, if you would like to answer.
It's easy to add on this because Another flagship initiative is actually the youth test that we implemented in our house, involving youth representatives from outside our committee. And here, once again, we also involve candidate countries. And I have to say it was a pleasure to welcome some month ago the Minister for Youth from Albania, Ms. Muchacha. And she presented the youth strategy currently in place and implemented in Albania. So it's very important to have this exchange. We will also focus on youth in Albania, and next year we plan together with Eurofound and the European Training Foundation also an event in Albania which should be focused on strengthening social dialogue, but also the involvement of youth and the youth test.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? No. Okay, thank you. So we're closing the